Britain's economy shrank in the 3 months to September at the start of what is likely to be a lengthy recession, underscoring the challenge for Finance Minister Jeremy Hunt as he prepares to raise taxes and cut spending next week. The UK economy contracted by 0.2% in the third quarter of 2022, signaling what could be the start of a long recession. The preliminary estimate indicates that the economy performed better than expected in the third quarter, despite the downturn. Economists had projected a contraction of 0.5%, according to Refinitiv. The contraction does not yet represent a technical recession, characterized by 2 straight quarters of negative growth, after the second quarter's 0.1% contraction was revised up to a 0.2% increase. In output terms, there was a slowing in the quarter for the services, production, and construction industries. The services sector slowed to flat output on the quarter, driven by a fall in consumer-facing services, while the production sector fell by 1.5% in Q3 2022, including falls in all 13 subsectors of the manufacturing sector, the Office for National Statistics said in its report Friday. The Bank of England last week forecast the country's longest recession since records began, suggesting the downturn that began in the third quarter will likely last deep into 2024 and send unemployment to 6.5% over the next 2 years. The country faces a historic cost of living crisis, fueled by a squeeze on real incomes from surging energy and tradable goods prices. The central bank recently imposed its largest hike to interest rates since 1989 as policymakers attempt to tame double-digit inflation. The ONS said the level of quarterly GDP in the third quarter was 0.4% below its pre-COVID level in the final quarter of 2019. Meanwhile, the figures for September, during which UK GDP fell by 0.6%, were affected by the public holiday for the state funeral of Queen Elizabeth II. UK Finance Minister Jeremy Hunt will next week announce a new fiscal policy agenda, which is expected to include substantial tax rises and spending cuts. Prime Minister Rishi Sunak has warned that difficult decisions will need to be made to stabilize the country's economy. While some headline inflation numbers may begin to look better from here on, we expect prices to remain elevated for some time, adding more pressures on demand, said George Logarius, chief economist at Mazars. Should next week's budget prove indeed difficult for taxpayers, as expected, consumption will probably be further suppressed, and the Bank of England should begin to ponder the impact of a demand shock on the economy. Britain's economy is now further below its pre-pandemic size. It is the only group of 7 economies yet to recover fully from the COVID slump, and is smaller than it was 3 years ago on a calendar quarter basis. The Resolution Foundation think tank said that although the fall was smaller than investors had feared, it left Britain on course for its fastest return to recession since the mid-1970s. Nurses in the UK has passed a vote to embark on a strike after 106 years, and today a wave of recession fears loom Britain. This is going to be a really bitter winter for Britain if things are not corrected immediately. How are you preparing to brace for seemingly unavoidable? Let us know in the comments section below. Thanks for watching.